Welcome to the briefing for the full Sea2sky challenge. This is a general overview of the event. Full details can be found in the race manual, including all the rules. First up, we have the schedule, so please check the website and also the race manual for any updates. Please note the briefing times, registration times, arrival times, when you need to drop off your shoes, and obviously your start times. When you pick up your race number at registration, you'll have a number, as you can see here, that will be worn on your front during the run leg. You will also receive a couple of stickers. One that you can see here is a whole panel of stickers. Each are labelled as to where they go. Please note one of these stickers is labelled for your run bag. It goes around the handles of your red run bag, which is handed in on race morning. You will receive one final sticker. This is to go on the front of the red bag that you will use for your second transition. So that goes on the front of that bag with your running shoes that are handed in on race morning. You'll also receive a timing chip and a strap. Please make sure that both the timing chip and the strap are around the left ankle and secured nice and strongly. Given this is a point-to-point event, we have some really important information. Firstly, make sure you bring a second pair of running shoes just in case we have to cancel the swim due to high surf. You will receive a run bag at registration. You need to make sure you hand that in on time with your running shoes in it for the second run. Make sure you know the details with regards to the crossing of Evans Pass. When you're on the bike, we have a running event only, so watch out for runners. Your race number, make sure it's showing on your front during the run leg, and rules: no drafting, no music devices, no crossing the centre line. We aim to have your bikes back at around about 11 AM and then prize giving will follow at around 11:30. When you arrive on site on race morning, the transition will be laid out as you can see here, or very close to it. You do not need to re-check in. Bike racks are individually numbered, so you simply need to go into the transition area, find your bike rack position, rack your bike, and then get ready to race. Please do not leave any bulky items in transition, and there is roadside parking all around the event site. Please do not park on the bike course though, so anywhere but the bike course. The toilets can be seen in the sort of middle right part of this image. They're simply using the public toilets, and please be mindful of any children in the play area, and we will have that area fenced off. This is what the bag drop will look like. Be in the back of a truck with a bag drop sign. This will be located on the esplanade, fairly close to the clock tower, so that is where you need to drop your run shoes off in their red bag. Unless we have abnormal conditions, the swim will start from the boat ramp on the right side of this image. The actual start line will be in the water, dictated to by the swim director on the day. You'll swim towards Cave Rock where you'll see a yellow buoy. You'll turn left at the first yellow buoy, swimming across to the second buoy. You'll turn left at that buoy and then aim for the clock tower. The final yellow buoy you can see that will be close to the beach. You need to keep that on your right hand side, so you cannot cheat by swimming straight into shore and then running along the beach. So you need to, the first two yellow buoys, you keep them on your left. The third yellow buoy, as you're coming in, you keep on the right. Unless we have a massive increase in numbers, we will be doing one mass start with males, females and teams all together. If you are doing the duathlon option, you will also start at the boat ramp. You will run along the footpath up to the promenade, then you'll complete 2 laps on the promenade, running about halfway down, turning around, coming back to the run turn sign, which will be before the finishing chute. You'll turn there, head back out for another lap, and then come back down past the run turn, past the finish chute. Do not run down the finish chute, run on the outside, and then you will turn right where the swimmers are exiting and run down into transition in the same point as the swimmers. First transition, you will come out of the water or finish your run leg following the blue line past the kids swimming pool and between that and the cafe. You will then run around the path on the outside of transition and enter on the bottom left corner. You do not need to go all the way down to the far end of the transition area, as that is the juniors and the tri athletes. You will then turn into transition unless you are located close to the clock tower. Run through the transition, grabbing your bike, taking your wetsuit off, and off you go following the red dotted line. You walk your bike or run your bike across the road as indicated by the marshals until you get to the mountain line. you can get on your bike once you have passed over the mountain line. So not before the mountain line, not at the mountain line. Once you are over the mountain line, then you are free to get on your bike. Please make sure your helmets are fastened whenever you're touching your bike. Onto the bike leg. The first part of the bike leg is making some turns in and through sort of central Sumner. So you're making a right hand turn to begin with, and then a left hand turn into Head Street, right into Colenso, and then left into Wakefield Street, which will take you onto Evans Pass. You climb up Evans Pass. At the top you're turning right, following the road to just past Mount Pleasant Road, where you'll turn, do the long descent down, come past and through Evans Pass, and then ride out to Godley Head. Please note there are a couple of cattle stops on the way out to Godley Head. These will not be covered, and if it is wet, they are very slippery, so be careful. If they're dry, it should be fine going across them. If wet, be very careful. If you've not done this race before, please be aware it has an extremely long climb on it. Make sure you keep left at all times so people can pass on the right, and also when you're on the descent, you must stay on your side of the road. There is absolutely no crossing of the white line. You will be automatically disqualified. The critical part of the bike ride is the Evans Pass intersection. When you are climbing, you'll be making a right hand turn into the Summit Road. You may have to give way and stop before making your right hand turn if there is oncoming traffic. When you're coming down the Summit Road and descending from Mount Pleasant, there is a timing mat just before the mandatory stop line. There will be another timing mat on the other side of the intersection near the cattle stop. This is a neutralised zone, so however long it takes you to cross over this intersection, that time will be taken from your finish time. So for example, if you cross the finish line at the same time as someone else, but you had to wait 5 seconds while they waited for 1 minute at that intersection, you will have different total times. Normally, we've found in the last couple of years, the majority of you, it was simply a case of stopping, putting your foot down, checking for traffic, and you go. It is mandatory that you stop, put your foot down, and wait until given instructions to cross over the intersection. If you fail to stop or abuse the marshals in any shape or form, you will be disqualified. We're extremely serious on this matter. It's the only way we can make this intersection work and to keep this race alive. We have a fantastic team waiting for you at Transition 2, which is manned by the Canterbury Triathlon Academy. Please just follow the instructions they give you. When you arrive at the transition, please rack your bike as far down the rows as you can. This makes it easier for them to load the bikes. Take your helmet off with you after you've racked your bike and put it into the bag where you'll be taking your running shoes out of. It's fine to leave your bike shoes clipped onto your bikes. When you run down, after you've racked your bike, there'll be a couple of rows. Numbers 1 to 99 will be on your left, and anything over 100 will be on your right. If you're in a team, the cyclist will rack their bike and then run over to tag the teammate who will be in the team tag zone. Finally, onto the run. After you've put your bike in the bike rack and put your helmet and any other cycling equipment into your red bag, you'll take off on the run. You'll run straight towards the gun emplacements. At the gun emplacements, you'll be making a left-hand turn onto the Godley Head track, which takes you all the way to Taylor's Mistake. Just before you arrive into Taylor's Mistake, you'll make a right-hand turn down some rocky steps, which takes you onto the beach. You'll then run along the beach, turning left just after the surf club, come past the surf club, and then make a right-hand turn onto a little residential access road. When you reach the end of that road, you'll be onto the Taylor's Mistake track, which will bring you over the hill. As you go over the climb, you'll encounter some steep steps and some pretty steep pitches up and down all over the place, which is all good fun. You follow the track all the way to Nicholson Park. Before entering Nicholson Park, you'll be required to cross the road, where you'll find some marshals that will help you across. You zigzag your way through Nicholson Park and down to Whitewash Road Head. You don't go down the zigzag we did in the early years. At the end of the end of Whitewash Head, you'll reach Heberdean Ave. You'll run along Heberdean Ave. You've got to cross over another intersection at the lifeboat ramp. Then you'll be running towards the promenade. When you reach the steps where the swim exit was, you will turn right and run down those steps along the beach. Then you'll make a left-hand turn up a ramp, another left-hand turn onto the esplanade, and then you'll run down to the finish line. If you're in a team, the cyclist will stand next to their bike waiting for either the swimmer or the runner to complete the first leg. they will go off and do their bike ride, and then at the second transition the runner will be waiting in the tag zone. The cyclist will rack their bike, run over to the runner, and then the runner takes off and does their run. The cyclist then needs to bike back down under their own steam back to Scarborough, being extremely careful, keeping it to the left and ideally waiting till most of the cyclists are done. The transition for the timing chip needs to happen between each athlete, so the timing chip is basically your baton. When the first athlete comes into transition, you swap the timing chip over to your cyclist, and then likewise at the second transition you do the same. So whoever is active needs to have the timing chip around their ankle. With your numbers, the runner who is doing the final run wears the bib number. The cyclists will have some stickers to put on their helmet and around their bike, and the swimmer or the first runner does not need to have a number. And events do not happen without sponsors, so please thank the sponsors. If you're considering making any purchases in the areas that they operate, please give them a look up. But anything, social media contact, anything like that, recommendations would be fantastic, and to ensure the events like this will carry on. This video is really just an overview of the course. Please read the course manual for further details. When you're out there, remember to smile. We're all supposed to be having a good time, and say thanks to Marshals because they're investing their time to make sure you can race. Have a fantastic event.